fastest way to lose control of your life is to give too many people access to it. Hey everyone, it's been a little while. The last few weeks have been slightly chaotic. Good chaos, but with too many moving parts, I couldn't post. I'm gradually getting back in rhythm, and it's good to connect again. In the last episode, we talked about how silence is a skill and how not every opinion needs to be shared. Today, let's talk about the other side of the coin. What happens when you are the one absorbing all the opinions? Here's a principle I live by. The more access people have to your life, the more influence they have over your decisions. If you want clarity, you must limit access. Most people underestimate this. Every voice you entertain competes with your inner voice. Every opinion you absorb subtly shifts your thinking. And slowly, without realizing it, your decisions stop being entirely yours. One thing I deliberately avoid is having too many people in my business, because access is not neutral. Access is influence. The moment you put something on the internet, you've invited commentary, and at that point, you cannot honestly call the opinions unsolicited because you opened the door. And the subtle danger is that you cannot unhear what you've already heard. Even if you say you don't care, even if you pretend it doesn't matter, it lingers. We live in a world obsessed with visibility. Share everything, post everything, announce every move, document every phase. And yes, if you are building a brand or growing a business, visibility is strategic. But personal life, private plans, early stage ideas, you need to protect them. There's a thin line between being vocal and being overexposed. And overexposure weakens focus. Let me put it this way. Have you ever watched a poker player playing against an opponent at the table? One of the biggest strategies in card games is unpredictability. You study your opponent's expressions while revealing as little as possible about yours. The moment your opponent can read your mind, you've lost your advantage. Life works the same way. Now, this isn't about being deceptive. It's about being disciplined. There's power in being selectively visible. There's strength in being hard to read. There's strategy in moving quietly. The less predictable you are, the less controllable you are. And this is particularly important for young people today. Oversharing has become normal. Most people would say, well, I'm just living my life. But understand this. People profile you based on what you show them. Employers do it. Opportunities do it. Strangers do it. If this is what you are showing us, I wonder what you are not showing. Fair or not, perception shapes opportunity. Guarding your focus isn't about paranoia, it's about protection. Because when too many people have access to your process, you start explaining instead of executing. You start defending instead of building. You start reacting instead of progressing. But clarity requires quiet. Growth requires insulation. And execution requires concentration. The world doesn't need to know when you are ill, when you are feeling down, when you are quarreling with your partner, or when you are on your way to the airport. Life is more than vibes, especially if you intend to do unconventional things that the average person may not easily understand. If you are comfortable with average outcomes, average exposure will do. But if you are building something uncommon, you cannot move like everyone else. Now, instead of putting every detail of your life out there for random commentary that may not provide support, capacity, or useful counsel, you have to be intentional instead. Share your plans, ideas, and challenges with specific people who have the experience, position, or maturity to genuinely help you. Trust me, you'll be better off. To wrap up today's episode, here's my charge for the week. Lock in and reduce the noise. Limit who knows what. Limit who speaks into your plans. Limit what you make public before it's mature. Move in silence, build in private, reveal in results. Because at the end of the day, if you don't guard your focus, you won't guard your direction. And if you can't guard your direction, you can't guard your life. Until next time, keep being amazing. My name is Murphy Nnamdi Ochuba.